I probably don't have anyone on yet, which is fine. Hopefully people can re-watch this later on the replay crew. But what I'm trying to do is just take a quick peek at Sebastian Rogers' astrology. He went missing from Hendersonville in Tennessee. And what I'm trying to do is I need to narrow down a time frame. That is the most important thing on an astrology chart, a criminal astrology chart. What I need is the exact time that they go missing. I need to know, basically, in order for me to kind of map them out, the best way is I either do the 911 call map, and I really haven't been able to narrow down when the 911 call was made. So I'm just going to peek through a couple of these charts and see if I can kind of narrow down a time frame. This is so from what I'm gathering, the mother was with Sebastian. At the last time she mentioned seeing him alive was at midnight, or seeing him in the house was at midnight. She mentions that she wakes up in the morning and he's not in his bed, but all the doors are locked. So we don't know if he was kidnapped or he walked out. Hi, Flip Flop. Hey, TKO. It's good to see you, beautiful. I'm so glad you guys are here. So I just kind of, and I don't want to put like any negativity on any of the parents, or even if there's siblings in the house. I don't want to put any bad juju out on anybody. That's not what I'm doing. I just want to tell you what the planets are saying. I don't want to point a finger at anybody, okay? But I just need to let you guys know that the energy that we've been dealing with for the past 2 weeks, I kind of warned you all about 2.5 weeks ago. If you watch my channel, I warned you that we were going to see a lot of death. I had no idea it was going to revolve around children, okay? But if you saw my video where I kind of brought it to everyone's attention that for the first time in over 100 years, we had a really rare astrological event happen where Pluto and Mars are meeting up in Aquarius for the first time at a 0 degree, okay? A 0 degree meeting at like they were on top of each other, okay? These are very malefic planets in crime. Now, on your natal chart, they can mean a lot of things, right? Like regeneration and passion and, you know, letting your freak flag fly a little bit. It also can, you know, on a natal chart, it means something completely different than a crime chart. So I kind of just made you guys aware a couple weeks ago that these two planets meeting at a 0 degree can have a very negative impact on our environment, okay? Because this is an energy that is malefic, that's floating around in the universe. And I kind of warned you that we were going to see a lot of death. We had the shooting. We had the shooting at the parade the next day after I announced that. You know, then we've had these back-to-back deaths, all kind of in the same situation. Aquarius is someone that you know. Aquarius is usually someone that you know, right? Someone that you're familiar with. Someone that you would trust, usually. Someone that would pose to you as someone that would be in a humanitarian effort, because Aquarius rules humanitarian efforts, right? Someone that you think that you could trust because you're supposed to trust them. With this chart, with Sebastian, because the mother is making it kind of seem like maybe somebody came in and kidnapped them. This is at 3:45, okay? And the moon is in a different location because the moon moves the fastest. On Audrey Cunningham's chart, the moon was in the 4th house, I believe, or in the 5th house. So, the moon is moving quickly. The moon moves the fastest on some of these charts. So the moon is also a second co-ruler of our victim. So we always want to look to see where the moon is at. So the moon represents a few things all at the same time, okay? The moon is the mother. The sun is usually the father on a chart, right? In your natal chart, it's the same thing. The moon can represent your mother, your family home, your family heritage, your safe place. It rules the fourth house. On a crime chart, the fourth house rules in the womb and in the tomb, okay? So Jupiter usually rules your husband on your natal chart. And in a crime chart, Jupiter can be a characteristic of our killer or our victim. Jupiter can also represent additional things about the environment where a victim may be. Jupiter can also let us know that it's a husband, a spouse, a boyfriend, someone that you're in a relationship in, especially if it's a female. And what I want to point out to you is that I'm already seeing that didn't appear on all of the other victims this past week. So we had Audrey, we had Eli, and now we have, then we had Madeline Soto, and now we have Sebastian Rogers, okay? They're back to back. And I just need to let you know that it's literally the same malefic planets that have been consistent in all of these charts, okay? And I'm really praying that Sebastian doesn't have the same fate as the other victims this week, but this is the energy that the universe has put out. And you guys can't deny that all of these victims have some type of Libra family friend, something along those lines. Somebody that this child was supposed to be able to trust ends up hurting them, right? So that is a constant that we are seeing. That's an ongoing theme that we've seen ever since I announced that Mars and Pluto were going to be meeting at a 0 degree. So what I'm noticing off the bat that's different from all the other victims is this yod. Now, a yod is basically called the finger of God, the finger of fate on a crime chart. So I have the sun, which should represent a bio dad. I picked purple. I hope you guys can see it. I'm not really good at making these lines, but I hope you can see it. So we have the sun going over to Jupiter, who usually represents a husband, a spouse, or a boyfriend. Someone who is an authority. The sun can also be an authority as well. Now, this is at 3:45 in the morning, okay? Thinking that someone broke in and did something to Sebastian, okay? Because the mother says she saw him at the house at midnight. She woke up the next day and he wasn't in his bed. So something happened to him in the middle of the night is what we're supposed to believe, okay? So that's why I picked, anywhere between 3 and 4. So I want you to see this yod, this finger of God, how it goes straight up to the moon. All right? I hope you guys can see that. It's called a yod or a yod. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. Whoops, I suck at making these lines, but you guys can see it. Now, Summer Wells had a similar yod in her chart as well. Summer Wells had Mom, the moon, and the sun, and it went straight down to Pluto. It was like the finger of God came in and pointed to Pluto, which represents death. Now, this is possibly letting us know, the finger of God, the finger of fate, is letting us know that we have a triangle here of a bio dad, a spouse, a stepdad, a husband, going straight up to the mother. For some reason, God wants us to pay attention to this, okay? And if you look at it, it's almost like the moon, if you could picture like an anchor, right? The moon is the anchor here, and all these lines are coming out of the moon. Everything is coming out of the moon. Now, the moon usually rules a matriarch, someone in the family, your safe place, your home. Libra also rules a relationship. So it's very interesting, and I wanted to point this little yod out to you. Maybe God is trying to tell us that these parents' life is forever going to be changed, or God is trying to tell us that we need to pay attention to the mother, or this triangle. We need to pay, whatever it is, God is telling us that we got to pay attention to this energy here, because the finger of fate, the finger of God, comes in and points up to the mother. With Summer Wells's chart, it was the moon, the sun, like this, and then it all pointed down to Pluto. So either God was trying to tell us with Summer Wells that these parents are going to be involved in a very trying, difficult situation. Pluto represents, he's like the meat grinder. You're going to go through something very difficult, a metamorphosis of some sort on a natal chart. But in a crime chart, it does represent death. Okay, I'm just going to be very honest. All right, it doesn't mean that the parents did anything in Summer Wells's case. It's just a yod does appear in Summer's chart all day. A yod like this, but it's pointing down. So, it's literally the finger of God coming in and going, these two parents are connected to death somehow. I don't know how. All right. With this, it's telling me that I have a bio dad, possibly a stepdad, and a mother. And God is pointing, the finger of fate is pointing to the mother. That's all I want to say. The other thing I want us to look at is in the first house, we have the malefic planets of Pluto and Mars together, okay? These guys have been the key players all day. We got Pluto on the cusp of Capricorn, which can mean being strict, restrictive. Somebody was being restrictive, power, control, and Pluto, maybe discipline is involved here, okay? So again, I have discipline. Now, this doesn't matter. This is just something, a little thing that I've been keeping notes of, is when Mars points to something, I always look at that. Mars is pointing right up to the moon here. That doesn't really mean anything, but I just always, I don't know, I just think it's weird. Sometimes Mars actually points to a person that we should pay attention to. Now, I'm not saying that the mom did anything. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. That is not my job to judge and be the judge and jury. I don't want to do that, and I don't want to put any negative energy out towards the mother or the parents, either parent, step-parent, or bio-dad. I'm assuming there's a bio-dad, and I'm assuming that there's a step-parent, because that's what the astrology is telling us. Even if I haven't really watched any of the news, but I'm assuming we have a bio-dad and we have a stepdad involved. Not involved, but just in this child's life, okay? So the astrology, hey, Brooke. Hey, Blue Willow. Hello, everybody coming in. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I'm even shocked that I even get one person watch me, let alone 10 people watch me. I am still blown away by that anyone would be interested in this. But it is interesting because it does tell a story. So with just Pluto and Mars and Aquarius kind of being there, this is telling me that there's a shocking event that's happened at the house, okay? There's something that's shocking that's happened at the house. All right. Everybody's coughing and sneezing in the background. We were at the doctor's office all day yesterday. My daughter tested positive for the flu, and now my husband has it too. So we're all sick, yeah. Why isn't it letting me leave? Leave. Okay. Let me go back to the chart. So the fourth house, I have Aries and a wound that never heals. Again, guys, I've been saying this all week, okay? Possibly an injury to the head. Remember, Mars is the ram. He's the ram that bumps heads, and it's blunt force trauma, or it could be a weapon, all right? Because Mars is ruled by Aries, and Chiron is considered the wounded healer. He's a wound that never heals. So, excuse me. And we have the North Node there as well, and the North Node can kind of give us an energy of, well, the North Node can let us know if a crime was planned out or if it's unexpected. To me, I would say this is just something unexpected. This is anger and rage at the home, okay? I'm going to say that there was some type of uproar, some type of argument at the home, okay? So my victim is being ruled by Capricorn, and that makes our victim Saturn. Saturn is this little H, and he's the Scythe, right? So that's why Saturn is always letting us know that it rules your teeth, your hair, your skin, your nails, you know, your muscles, your joints, anything that has DNA on it is Saturn. So that's in Pisces. That's a water sign. So again, I don't know if Sebastian does live near any type of water source. If there is any type of water source near him, I would pay attention to that as well. He's at the 9th degree, which is ruled by Sagittarius. Again, that could be an authority of some sort. Some type of an authority figure, again, we might be dealing with at the home. The mother is at a 9th degree as well. My open enemy is being ruled by Cancer, which that is the 4th house. The Cancer rules the 4th house. Which is your safe place, your home. So something happened at the home, guys. Okay? Something's happened at the home. Yeah, I hope we do feel better soon. I have to the doctor took my daughter out of school until Friday. They don't want her to go back until Monday because she was vomiting. So this flu is like vomiting, diarrhea, high fever, and she had such a high fever. Her fever got up to about 104, where her scalp, I've never seen this before. Like my kids have always like spiked high fevers, but my daughter, her fever got so hot and high that her scalp turned like blister red. Like, I mean, it was like this color red, right? And her scalp and her cheeks got really red, and they blistered, and her skin on her scalp peeled off in layers. Like I was pulling like clumps of skin off her scalp. I couldn't believe it. Like, and she had her skin on the top of her feet got blistered too. So like she had such a high fever, her skin like got all red and rashy and blistery. And that's why I decided to take her into the hospital, because I've never seen anything like that. And I was giving her Tylenol, I was giving her cold and flu medicine, and it wasn't breaking. The fever wasn't breaking. And she's got really bad asthma. So that we went to the doctor yesterday, and she is wheezing. It's affected her asthma. So we got all new asthma medicine. They gave her something called Singulair and Tamiflu, Tamiflu, I think. Gave her that. And now my husband's coming down with it now, and I'm coming down with it too. So we all have the flu. We are highly contagious. We're like a big germ. Okay, so all right. So I wanted to point out the yod to you that does appear on the chart. It makes me a little nervous. Let's check some other times as well, because this is at 3:45. So I'm going to say there was some type of chaos, something unexpected that happened at the home. Let's go to midnight, because the mother says she saw him at midnight, right? So let's just see midnight. And see what the chart looks like at midnight. I mean, again, I don't want to say that the mother is guilty of doing anything. It's just there's something going on with the family home. I just need to say that. I hope not. I hope that I'm wrong. So let's see. Let's do 11:45. 11. See, now I'm getting confused. So January 27th at 11 p.m. 11:45. Let's see what that says. Okay. Yeah, it was really scary. She's never had a fever that high before, with her asthma flaring up on top of it. I panicked a little bit. So it's been crazy here. Okay, so the yod isn't appearing here too much. Again, we still have this like sweeping effect where the mother is again like an anchor. Again, I have the mother in Libra. So either the mother in a relationship with someone, I hope you guys can see that up here. I'll try to use my pencil so you guys can see. The mother in a relationship with someone, or the mother herself might be a little unbalanced. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure how to play that just yet. But I have to say that there is a lot of energy stemming out from the mother. And it gives us this like sweeping effect at the bottom of the chart. I don't know if you can see that. Like the shape of the chart, right? Everybody's down here. Mom's up here, right? You see that? You guys see it? How the astrology is kind of, we have all these planets stacking up down here, kind of like rolling through, and everything is kind of stemming out from mom. So either mom is connected to what happened, or it's somebody that the mom is in a relationship with, or there's some weird connection with mom here. I mean, I just got to kind of put that out there. Hopefully I'm wrong. I really hope not. Also is showing mom is connected, as, you know, connected here to Uranus. So that's an unexpected tragedy, an unexpected event happening to mom as well. So at 11:45 on the 27th, I'm curious if there's siblings involved. If there's any siblings in that house, we would need to talk to the siblings. Hands, using your hands. They said that the stepdad her husband was away traveling. He's working. That shows up. I have a stepdad or someone that the mom might be in a relationship with is working, making money. Taurus rules your possessions. I have a stellium in the 4th house, which is in the womb and in the tomb. Jupiter is also ruling our victim here as well. So again, Jupiter's showing up as a few things in this chart. It's ruling our victim, but it's also letting us know that the spouse is probably at work. So just like the moon represents more than one thing in a chart, Jupiter can represent more than one thing in a chart. Just give me a second to absorb it all in. Taurus is ruling the DC line at 11:45. So that means we have these two players again. We have Venus and Mars in Aquarius. That's been playing out all week, guys. Venus and Mars was with Elijah. Venus and Mars was with Madeline Cunningham. Madeline Soto, okay? Madeline Soto had Mars and Venus. Elijah Vu had Mars and Venus. And Sebastian has Mars and Venus. The only difference that Audrey Cunningham had, she still had Mars and Pluto, but she had the sun and she was Saturn. So they're conjunct. For Audrey Cunningham, it was Mars and the sun and Saturn. But still, we had Pluto and Mars letting us know that it was a murder. I had almost a T-square here, too. Yeah, it's a shocking event. 3rd house could be travel in the neighborhood, either in the neighborhood, in his surrounding area. I'd like to know if he was in a car at 11:45. The 5th house rules children. Aries with children, that's anger towards a child and a wound that never heals. So If we can just pull it up so I can show you guys. The Wheel of Life. So this is kind of the wheel that I like to follow because it kind of gives a little bit more details to it. So we have, I don't know if you can see it. Bring you up close. The fifth house, children. So we're looking right here, guys. Children, creativity, pleasure, romance, good fortune, and sex. So I have Aries ruling this house, right? Aries, meaning that usually rules the first house. So this means our victim self, okay? The victim himself has a wound that never heals in the house that rules children, okay? And that's at 11:45 on the 27th. Possibly a wound to the face or head. So again, I'm like, it's really sad. I feel like I'm repeating myself because there's this ongoing theme with these children, okay? I really hope that I'm wrong, though. Like, I really hope that I'm incorrect. And it's hard for me to do a map on him because I don't have... If I could get a hold of the 911 call, that I would do a map on the 911 call. Does anybody know what time the 911 call came in? I know. Treating them worse than garbage. You're right, Brooke. Hey, Yolanda, it's good to see you. Hello, Matthew Cunningham. It's good to see you. So if I could get the exact 911 call, if anybody could send that to me, I will map him out. But I tried to figure out, like I looked online today and was just trying to figure out what time the 911 call came in. So I don't have the 911 call. If I could get the 911 call, I'll map him out. I'll go to Scribble Maps and I'll map him out, like how we've been doing. Okay? Like with all the other victims, how we did Elijah Vu. I'll map him out and see if we can find him. You know? Let's see, where was Elijah Vu? Was he in... I think here was Elijah Vu. He was right here in Wisconsin. So here's Elijah that we did. I must have lost his little point thingy. Hi, Jackie. Oh, are you Flip Flop? Good for you. Hey, Matthew, it's really good to see you. Okay, so for Elijah Vu, we can do the same map for Sebastian, okay? If someone could help me find what time the 911 call came in, I'd be happy to map him out. And then I'll go back to doing Summer Wells. So we can try to map out Sebastian like we've done with everybody else, right? See above Junie. Jackie said it may have been in the morning. Okay. Do you know the exact time in the morning? So I got to get the exact time. that the 911 call was coming in. If I can't find it, I'll call the police department myself. And I know I hate to do that because I sound like a complete nutball. Because when you call the police department and you're like, "Hi, I need to know what time, Sebastian went missing," and then they're literally like, "Well, who are you?" It's like, just, "Well, hi, I'm a crazy person from Delaware, and yeah, I do criminal location astrology and read tarot cards. Can you tell me what time he went missing?" Yes, they don't want to talk to you. They're like, "Oh, okay, bye-bye, click." So, I try to explain to them that I need the exact time that a victim goes missing because I can pull a chart. We want to get close to the exact time. It's very important. Between 6:30 and 7 a.m. Okay. 6:30 and 7 a.m. So let's try to pull a chart for that. See what that looks like. Excuse me. So it would be on the 28th, right? So the 911 call would have come in the next morning. That would be dated the 28th at 7. Should we do 6:45 a.m.? We'll try 6:45 a.m. in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Let's see what we got. This is a map that I might be able to work with. Dang it. Why is the moon showing up in the house that rules the enemy? 22 degrees, kill or be killed degree. What the hell? What in the heck is going on with the mom? Again, the mom is innocent until proven guilty. I don't want to make it sound like I'm blaming the mom here, but the 22nd degree in astrology, I'll show it to you. The 22nd degree in astrology is kill or be killed. I might show it on here. If I don't see it on here, I'll pull it up for you so you guys can see it. Just like the 18th degree is considered a devil degree, it's considered the degree of the devil. The 29th degree is considered a malefic degree. It's like a fated degree. That, we couldn't intervene even if we tried, that it was fated of basically, it can mean death. Just so you guys know, I'm not just making this shit off the top of my head. I'll show you what the 22nd degree in astrology is. Just so you know I'm not full of shit. See, 22nd degree in astrology is to kill or be killed degree. Okay, so that's when she's calling 911. This is when the mom is calling 911. She's at a kill or be killed degree. Why is that? That's weird. Why is she showing up like that? And again, she's like all alone, all over here. We have Virgo ruling the chart on here. 1.8 miles away or 2.3 miles away. I have 23 at the IC line, close to in the womb and in the tomb. So that's a mile marker. I would go out 2.3 miles or 23 yards. I could look at it like this: 23 feet, 23 yards, right? And then you do 2.3 miles away, and then you add another, and then you keep adding to that, 23 miles away, right? 2,300 miles away. I could go all the way out, right? So, but most crimes happen within a closer range. So I'm going to say 2.3 miles away or 23 miles away, okay? And you guys can learn all this stuff in Kirsty's book. Okay, she explains how to figure out some of the mileage, the basics of figuring out the mileage in her book. And then this is the other book that I read, Caroline Lilly. This is another book that I read, Forensic Astrology for Everyone. Okay, you guys can do this with me. We could be astrology crime busters together. Okay, and try to figure this out together. Hey Aggie, it's good to see you. Mom got up at 6 a.m. She couldn't find him. Looked a few minutes, called stepdad. Then he called the police. So I'm guessing around 6:30 in the morning. Okay, let's pull 6:30. This is 6:45, but still. I might have to just call the police department myself and sound like the psycho that calls the police and is like, "Hi, can you give me the exact time that our victim went missing?" Well, who are you? I'm an astrologer. Yes, I know you don't believe in us. It's okay. Yeah, see, the mom is still showing up at 6:30. The mom is still showing up at a kill or be killed degree. She's connected to Pluto here. And Mars is at an 11th degree, and that rules Capricorn is the 11th degree, is a Capricorn degree. So that, again, could be some type of anger and aggression towards discipline. We have our victim in Pisces. We have two people, our siblings, traveling around the local neighborhood. And then again, in another awkward spot, I have family. I have family showing up in the womb and in the tomb, which is the 4th house. So siblings, two people, family. In the womb and in the tomb. It's awkward. It's not looking good. And again, I have this stellium here where all these planets are clumped together. That's a lot of pressure right here in Aquarius. So maybe someone just had a lot of pressure, a lot of chaos at the home, and something popped off. I'd like to know if anybody is on drugs or lying. The moon is opposed Neptune. That's not good. So that's either, it could be any of these above. Lying, an illusion, a delusion. Neptune does rule video evidence. So there might be still there might be a little video evidence out there. Don't lose hope. There might be someone that does find a video clip of something. And Neptune rules drugs, drowning, lies, deceit. It's a spellcaster. Neptune is the original spellcaster with his words. An illusion, a delusion, lies. It rules heroin. It rules drowning in the water, or it can rule like drowning because you have an overdose of some sort, or that you're lying. And it's opposite. It's opposed the moon. Oh, man, I really wish it was not like this. So Pisces, ancient. So Pisces is ruled by Neptune, but its ancient ruler is Jupiter. So again, he's showing up as Jupiter. So that's also letting me know that there's going to be a characteristic about our victim, which is one, he's autistic. So let's find Jupiter on the chart. Here's Jupiter. Again, at 11th degree. So that's discipline, like strictness, to be strict. Restraint, that there was some type of restraint or restriction. 1.9 miles away, 1.2 miles away. So I could look at it like this. I could say 19 yards away, 1.9 miles away, 19 miles away, 1,900 miles away, right? And we could just keep going on and adding more. But again, I'm going to say he's either in between 1.9 or 19 miles away. Air and water is near the wound and in the tomb. Saturn is, again, at a Pisces degree. That's a water sign. Let's look at this little box that I like to look at to see if I can figure out where his body might be, if we're looking for a body. So I have a lot in water. His planet that rules him is in water. Neptune is in water. The AC line is in water. The sun is in water. Mercury is in water. So it's a lot of emotions happening in this chart. I got a lot of water and air. So he might be near a water source. Fresh water because of Aquarius. But Jupiter is an earth sign, so he could be in the earth near water. The moon is a second co-ruler. That's an air sign as well. So I got air, earth, and water. The 12th house rules endings. And I have Mars at an 11th degree, which Mars is the planet of murder. It's pointing to murder. Mars is pointing at Pluto. It doesn't look good, guys. I hate to say that about this child, but it doesn't look good. I hope that I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, guys, okay? Hey, Matthew Asili, it's good to see you. It's so good that you're popping over. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. That's so cool that you popped over. Have you felt it all week too, Brooke? That you think that it's... What do you think, Brooke? I like to hear Brooke's opinion. She's pretty intuitive. I'm an intuitive person, but I trust the astrology more than I trust my emotions, if that makes sense to you. Because when it comes to children, I get really emotional. I don't like the moon showing up at a 22nd degree. I just don't like that. What do you guys think? You think it's already too late? I hope I'm wrong too. Blue Willow, I really hope that I'm wrong. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to call the police department and get an actual time that the 911 call came in. Once I get the actual time, tomorrow I'll pop on, or possibly later tonight, and I'll do an actual location astrology chart for him, okay? Where it will look like this. We'll map out the moon line. This is Elijah's map, but I will do a map like this for Sebastian as well. I really hope that I'm wrong. I really hope that the family is not involved, but there's just a lot of Cancer energy. And if you guys have noticed a pattern, that has been the energy all week. Have you guys? Hey, Chloe Jade. Thank you. Thanks, Chloe. So, have you noticed that there's a pattern with the planets, right? When I told you guys about 2.5 weeks ago that we're going to see a lot of death over the next few weeks, earthquakes, a volcano eruption. A week later, we had a volcano eruption. Pluto and Mars meeting at a 0 degree hasn't happened for over 100 years. And I don't want to see these planets meet again for another 100 years because this week has sucked with children's deaths. And again, it's the same pattern with Sebastian. He's with someone that he's supposed to be, somebody that's in a relationship, or someone that the mother has a connection to, or that the mother is going to play a role here, just like in Audrey Cunningham. We had the mother showing up as well. and we later find out that, you know, he was manipulating the mother. It's kind of this, Sebastian has kind of the same planets that are playing a role in his disappearance. And I hate to say that. I really want to be wrong. But I have a feeling that there might have been an argument about a piece of property, about him holding on to something, or maybe a computer or a laptop or a tablet, something like that, with Taurus being here, and there's anger and rage at the home. The night before. I'm going to say the night before is what I'm seeing. Hey, Charlie B, it's good to see you. Though there's a wooded area. Okay. So with him being in an earth sign, is there any water nearby, guys? Do you know? Let me look up Rogersville or Hendersonville. Let's see what that looks like. Let's see if I could get it to go. See if we can figure out if there's any water nearby. Okay, yeah. There's a lot of water near here. There's a huge something. Looks like a snake river. Something called Cumberland River. There's a lot of water, guys, nearby, unfortunately. Like I said, for the whole year, we're going to see a lot of bodies coming up near water this year, unfortunately. They're either going to be like in earth or near a water source because of the Pisces element going on. So, yeah, he's near water, I'd say. In the earth, near water, probably. Look at all this water. There's another river over here. It looks like it's all the same. Cumberland River. Cumberland River goes all throughout, it looks like. It's a pretty big river. Tennessee is so beautiful. All right, so I will be back probably tonight or tomorrow to do his astrology location map, okay? So we'll map out the planets for Sebastian, and hopefully it will give us a clue. I really hope that I'm wrong about the family involvement. I really want to be wrong. This is when I hope that I'm just not at the most educated level with criminal astrology yet, but I think I'm reading the charts right. I do. I'm sorry. I hope that I'm not reading the charts right. Let's read about what Kirsty McIntosh says about the moon and see if it gives a description of the mother before we go. Okay, so this is what Kirsty tells us what the mother's going to look like. Let me turn on my little lamp. Oh, I unplugged it. All right. So you guys can see it. Hold on. Okay. So we're reading the moon because the moon keeps showing up in messed up spots, okay? So that's why I want to read what the moon is going to look like. A short-statured person. At 15 degrees, it can give him a more full body than before. So, anytime your astrology sign is at a 15 degree, like if your sun sign is at a 15 degree, if you're a Sagittarius or a Leo, if you're at a 15 degree Leo, you are fully a Leo. Like you really are deep rooted in the traits of Leo. If you're at a 15 degree of Cancer, you're really deep rooted in the traits of Cancer. So when you look at your natal chart, look to see if you're at a 15th degree and in your moon sign, in your sun sign, or on your rising sign. If any of those three signs show up at a 15 degree, it means that you are deep rooted in the characteristics of that sign. And remember, you are not just your sun sign. You are 3 signs all the time, but all of these planets are working inside of you at all times. And you also are the north and south nodes, so everything in between in the planets. Planets that have even been undiscovered are still affecting us, okay? Because that's what plays within in the north and south node. A lot of scientists that, poo-poo astrology, they're like, how can we just be 12 signs, right? How can we just be 12 different things? We are more than 12 signs. We are all of them. But 3, just like you have the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, the Holy Trinity, you have a Holy Trinity of your moon sign, your sun sign, and your rising sign working with you all the time. You're these 3 signs at all times, okay? So if any of those 3 signs are at a 15 degree, you are really deep rooted in that sign. Okay, so Kirsty McIntosh is in her book to give a description of what a killer or kidnapper would look like, the open enemy to Sebastian would look like, being ruled by the moon. Says that they, so the moon is Cancer, so that they would have a fuller body than before. So maybe they were thinner before, and then they got a little bit chunkier as years gone on. The upper part of the body are more thick than the lower. Disorder in the teeth, rounded pretty eyes, and dark hair. Cancer on the 7th house cusp can show us a few things. And she was showing up on the 7th house cusp. She showed up in a couple of other spots too that wasn't good. Cancer on the 7th house cusp can show us a few things. Firstly, it can indicate the victim was taken by the suspect into the suspect's own territory. It can indicate a female suspect. One should not rule out mother, stepmothers, aunts, or other women in the victim's life. So grandmother, aunt, right? Siblings, it's a female, things like that, okay? The moon. The moon can also be a pale-faced woman, a whitely-faced woman mixed with but a little redness on the cheeks, of auburn reddish hair, flow of speech, larger person at times, and I don't know what this word is. Phlegmate. I don't know if you guys can see it. PHLEG, phlegmatic. Short arms, fleshly hands of a mutable condition, often moving from place to place, seldom contented, neither delighting much in action nor idleness. Mothers, stepmothers, women in the person's life. So again, I'm seeing a theme of a woman possibly related to this victim. And I hate to say it, but the moon does rule mothers. And it seems that it was a mother that was the last person with him. I hope that I'm wrong. I really don't want to think that for Sebastian. I really want to be wrong. Phlegmatic. Thank you, Brooke. I love you so much. Thank you, Aggie. Phlegmatic. What does phlegmatic mean? Do you guys know? Like the way of her flow of speech? You hope I'm not wrong? Yeah, because if I'm not wrong, that means they can really hone in on the mom. That would be so sad that your mom hurts you, Like for a victim to be killed by their own mother, I mean, that's just like, that's tragic, right? Tragic. I don't want to think that. Hey, Dynamite, thank you for subbing. I'm almost at 1,000, guys. So, if you can I forget to do this because I forget that I'm learning to be a YouTuber. But, yeah, if you like astrology and you like criminal astrology and location astrology and tarot cards and talking about all things spiritual, please hit the subscribe. We do true crime here. We talk about all kinds of things. Nothing's off the table. We even talk about pooping, okay? We talk about everything. Nothing's off the table. We talk about domestic abuse. We talk about magic. We talk about healing herbs. We talk about all religions, all faiths, and we talk about crime. We talk about crime on all levels, and we look at crime on a spiritual level, and then we try to pick apart crime using criminal astrology. It's actually called Forensic Criminal Astrology, and I'm a student. I'm learning. I'm teaching myself how to do this, and you guys are along with me for this journey. Thank you, Jackie. I really appreciate it. Yes, I'm almost at 1,000, Matthew. I can't believe it. I can't even believe I get one person watch my stuff, let alone almost over 900. That blows my mind. But if I reach 1,000, I think something happens with YouTube. I think I'll be allowed to get commercials maybe, but I'll still keep my commercials at a really low. And we look at the stars here. I also love astrophotography, so I'll show you guys pictures of the planets. And we look at the planets in a criminal aspect to hope to give answers to family and victims, right? To give a voice to the victims through astrology. And obviously it's been working because the last few charts that we've been doing, I'm pretty much so... I'd say I'm 80% correct. And then when I make a mistake, I can always come back and say, oh, here's where I went wrong. Or unlike a psychic. I'm not psychic. I don't claim to be psychic. I'm highly intuitive, though. And you do get a feeling when you read these charts, you get an overall gut feeling. And I try to keep my gut under control because I don't want to let that interfere with my... reading the charts, but sometimes I just can't help it. And that's usually when I do make a mistake. I'll get emotional. But overall, we got a lot of energy coming out from this mother, kind of a sweeping effect here with the mother on the chart in Sebastian's life. It doesn't look good. The 7th house rules the killer. The DC line rules the killer. The AC line rules the victim. So, I'm going to say, if there's siblings in that house, they need to talk to some siblings. There might be one more person involved, or another person knows something. And at the most, I'm going to say 20 miles, 1.2 miles, 1.9 miles. These are markers that I'll do on the map. So when I start to map out Sebastian, you'll see me do those little circles, like my first mile marker, then I'll go from 1.2, then I'll go 1.9, okay? And then we'll keep going out, and we'll come up with a circle for Sebastian. So, yeah, at least unlike a psychic, I can go back and correct where I went wrong, right? For Audrey Cunningham, I kept saying, I think maybe there might be an injury to the neck, or he was trying to silence her by putting his hand over her mouth because there was all that Taurus energy. But then again, it's the same. We have Aries, a wound that never heals, the 17th degree. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That rules children. So a wound to a child that never heals in Aries, which is blunt force trauma to the head, okay? And this is at 6:30 a.m. A wound to a child, the 17th degree rules the 5th house, rules Leo. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, Leo. So to the head of the lion, the lion's mane. A wound to a child that never heals. At the house, where that child is at his home, okay? And the night before, the chart that we did later in the night, it showed him at home, that there was an argument that took place the night before, that there's chaos at the home. So that's an ongoing theme. So the night before at 11:45 p.m., there's chaos at the home. There's some type of chaos at the home. Some type of discipline again. So I hate to say that. I really hope that I'm wrong. All right. Bye, everybody. I will get the exact time of the 911 call. I need to get his exact address so we can map him out. All right. Love you all. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye now.